So here recently, President Trump announced that he will be coming out with evidence here soon proving that the 2020 election was rigged. And you still have the liberal bought and paid for lamestream lying news media claiming that the election was not rigged. Even have a lawyer that they used to go after Trump, Jack Smith, reportedly stating that he has evidence that he can prove it was not rigged beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, what's interesting is that I have my own evidence, you guys. I have several text messages and phone calls that I received prior to that election, that particular election. And I've voted before, and I've never been harassed like I was that year by, guess who? Democrats, only Democrats, asking me if they can count on me to vote for them, and also asking me if they can count on me to help them save America from Trump. At any rate, you guys, what's so crazy about it is that particular election, the count was stopped the night of the election. That's the first time that's ever happened in the history of our country that I know of, where they had Joe Biden running out, oh, we're going to stop the count, folks, but we're pretty sure we'll be able to bring it on in. Then I checked Google Maps, and Trump was up in all of the remaining states with the majority of the count in. And when I wake up the next morning, all those states had flipped over to blue. Statistically impossible. We already know that you had social media giants at the time, Zuckerberg and whatever the other guy's name that was over Twitter at the time, that was reportedly funneling money to the Democrats and being told to suppress anybody that spake out against the election being rigged, and COVID as well. Okay, so it's just interesting, you guys. None of the courts would hear any of Trump's cases regarding the election, and it makes sense because the court system has been really pretty much owned by the Democrats. That's why none of them have been arrested as of yet. Okay, that's just clear as day. But it's even more interesting that Joe Biden ran for office years ago and was denied due to plagiarism. But then that particular year, he just happens to run again and win the most votes reportedly in the history of this country, even more than Barack Obama. When he campaigned from his basement and he could hardly fill up a school auditorium. Yeah, we will believe. We don't believe it. Okay. At any rate, you guys, all I can say is if you want to stop elections from being questioned, because they tried to criminalize Trump for even questioning the election. He's an election denier. He doesn't want to be out of power. He doesn't want to do this and that. No, that's what you guys were all about. When you had your little wildebeest Hillary that lost to Trump, questioning his election and his legitimacy. And what's so rich about that is that she reportedly stole her own party's nomination from Bernie Sanders and ran and still lost. A certified loser. Shout out to Ted Cruz. He was the only senator at that time that actually denied the certification of that election. But all I have to say is if Democrats really want to stop people from questioning whether or not an election is rigged or not, why don't you implement voter ID and stop trying to say, oh, you don't want voter ID because it disenfranchises black people. We know how to vote. We know how to go get an ID. Okay, we have to have it for other things. Why not have it for voting? Okay, so we can make sure that only U.S. citizens are voting in the election and not all of these illegal immigrants that you all have flooded the country with. Why don't you just implement voter ID? Same day voting, paper ballots only. So we don't even have to worry about the computer being hacked or machines being hacked. And we know the same day. But for some reason, y'all don't want to do that. And I have a pretty good reason why. Because if that were implemented, you would never win another election in life.